Alright guys, so I'm out here putting on the Apiguard that I talked about in the last video. The Apivar did not work. This hive washed a 3 in the Dawn dish detergent wash. Dawn Ultra, I should say. And so I'm going to do a follow-up treatment with the Apiguard. I did 33 grams. I'm going to do kind of like what Cayman talked about, 33 grams 3 times, 1 week apart, instead of 50 grams, which would be the whole tray, 2 weeks, and then 50 grams for another 2 weeks. We're still having forecasted temperatures in the low to mid 90s, so I just want to do this just to be a little bit more cautious and not be as hard on the bees. He still has really good efficacy doing it that way. So I'm going to put this one back together, and I'll open up the next one, throw a tray in there, and show you what we got. Alright guys, I am back in the second hive over here. So as you can see, I've offset the Apiguard treatment to this right side. That's where I was in here a few days ago, and that's where the brood was at. Both of these hives do have 2 brood boxes. So you want to put the Apiguard in between the brood boxes, and you want to put some kind of a spacer. So I'm just using the feeder shim on both of these. There's one there and then one here, and that gives enough space for the bees to be able to access and remove the Apiguard gel. That's one of the mechanisms. The fumes kill the mites, but also just the bees coming and grabbing that gel and pulling it down through the brood out of the hive and just spreading it around is another mechanism it uses to kill mites. I put a bottom board back in this hive and I cleaned it. Somehow there's a bee down in there. Cleaned it up. That was because I didn't push it all the way in. So we're going to come back in 24 hours and check mite drop in this hive. Kind of neat thing about the removable tray is we can see what kind of drop we're getting. So I'll come back in a day, check it, and then I may come back a few days after that and check it again and see what it looks like. And then we'll do another mite wash at the end of this to make sure that it works. But same thing here, 33 grams. I measured it out with a scale. I put the leftovers in a Ziploc baggie that I could seal up. I just left 33 grams in the tray, took 17 out. And then I have a 6-frame nuke over there that I'm going to treat as well. They washed a 3, and I'm just going to do 25 grams at a time with that. So, but yeah, so I'm going to cut this off here. I will pick back up tomorrow when I come to look at the mite drop on that bottom board. We'll see you then. All right, guys, so I got a little tied up and I wasn't able to get out here 24 hours after putting the Apiguard in, but today is Saturday, so it's been 3 days since I put it in. So let's have a look at this tray and see what our mite fall is after 3 days. There's a small hive beetle. All right, there are a lot of mites. And granted, there's a lot of debris in here too, but man, there are mites everywhere. Most of that is mites. It's more than I could count, but there are, man. Just trying to take a quick glance here, but there are literally hundreds and hundreds of mites. That's wild. I can smell the Apiguard still, so it's still in there pretty thick. I'm gonna push that back in. So that's awesome. Obviously having pretty good mite fall with it, so I think it's promising. But we're gonna see, you know, after 3 weeks of treatment with it, where we stand. I will see you guys in the next update. All right, so it's been 1 week. I have cleaned this bottom board, I don't know, a few days ago. So there's not gonna be as many mites, but there's still quite a lot. And today is the day that I'm going to put the next 33 grams in, because it's, like I said, it's been a week. So Alright guys, so this has been 1 week, and as you can see they've completely removed everything from that tray. So I just smoked them down real good. They it's got to be because of the treatment. Normally they don't act the way they did, but as soon as I cracked this box they came flooding out of there. And I had my veil and my top on, but I only had shorts on because normally how I work out here when it's this hot. And they immediately tried to light me up, and one got me on the leg. Luckily that's all there was. I was able to get out before taking any more stings, but they definitely don't like this stuff. So got this one in here. We'll come back in a week and do another one. This is just 33 grams. As you can see, it's not a full tray. I measured it out. 33 grams this time, 33 grams last time, and the next one will be 33 grams. And after next week's treatment is done, so 2 weeks from today, we'll do another mite wash. Alright, so this is the other hive. I would argue that this hive has more bees in it than that first one we just looked at on the update. But as you can see, they haven't quite removed every little bit of it. I mean, the other one, look in contrast here, it's bone dry. And there's nothing there. See the difference? And they completely cleaned that up. And they have not quite cleaned it up yet. So we're going to replace it anyways. But just wanted to show you that. Alright, I'll see you guys in about a week. Alright everyone, I am out here to take off the third and final treatment of Apiguard from this hive and this hive. And I'm going to do some mite counts. You've already seen some mite washes in this video, so I am not going to show you that again. I will just basically cut back in and tell you what the final results are of the Apiguard treatment. Alright guys, so mite counts are done, and here's where we stand. This one washed a 6. This one we didn't treat because it didn't meet threshold in our last count. And this one washed a 0. So both were treated with Apiguard. I did 3 doses, 1 week apart, 33 grams each on both of these hives. This one went up in mite count. I don't remember the exact starting count, somewhere between 3 and 5. Now it's at a 6. I'll put the correct number on the screen. I don't remember the starting count for this one either, but it's a 0 now. So Apiguard was effective over here, was ineffective over here, and I have a theory about why that happened, and there's going to be a clip after I cut this back in my garage where I talk about it, because after I got that count of 6 on this one, I took the Apiguard tray into my garage and I talked about it. So just stand by, listen to that, see what you think, see if you agree, see if you have any other theories about why it may have not worked over here and why it worked over here, and let me know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have to try to come up with another game plan over here. I don't like having a 2% count going into winter, even though they have already started to make winter bees. I still need to do something over there, and there's still a lot of brood in this hive here too. So I don't know guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, so I'm back in my garage here. This is that hive on the right side of the stand, the wooden hive. Look at how much Apiguard was still left in the tray. And this is in there for about 10 days actually, because I wasn't able to get back after 7 days, but I wasn't worried about it because it was the third and last treatment, so I didn't need to swap it for any new Apiguard. There's some dead mites down in there, you can see them, but for some reason in this hive the bees are not removing the Apiguard at all. The other 2 hives that I've been treating with it, they've been removing the Apiguard completely. You can't even tell there was ever any gel in the tray. It's just completely clean. So I'm not sure if that has something to do. That's my theory. My theory is that the Apiguard treatment didn't work in this hive because, you know, part of the mechanism of this treatment is that the bees drag it through the brood nest on the way out the front of the hive. And that's obviously not happening here. So that is my theory as to why it didn't work. Let me know what you guys think. But I mean, that's pretty much all that was in there. This wasn't a full tray because I did 3 treatments, 33 grams each, and most of it is still in here. So I'm sure it killed some mites, not just the ones that are in the tray from the bees walking through there, but some of the vapor. But again, part of the mechanism, maybe even the biggest part of the mechanism, is the bees dragging it through the hive. It just didn't happen. So I'm still going to figure out what else to do with that hive. It's probably a genetic thing with those bees. Maybe they're just not as hygienic as the other bees, and so they don't feel the need to remove the gel from the hive like the other ones do. So I'll probably not be expanding my apiary with the genetics from this hive next year.